Joining us now is Bill Wong, a friend and colleague of Chan's from her days in the State Assembly. Bill, thank you for taking the time under these difficult circumstances. Let me start by offering my condolences to you. If you don't mind sharing, where were you when you found out about the news today and your reaction tonight?
I was actually at home. Thanks for having me. And I got a call, and it's completely shocking to hear. It's devastating news in a year that's been already very difficult with many losses.
You worked with Wilma Chan for a number of years. She is considered by many people a trailblazer in the Assembly for women, especially Asian women. Tell us more about that, her impact through all of her years of service.
Yeah, I worked as a chief of staff in the state assembly, and my assembly member that I worked for was her colleague. She was the first Asian American to serve as majority leader of the state assembly. It's the third most powerful position in the assembly, so that was a major historic moment. She was also one of the founding members of the Asian Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus at the time with Judy Chu, George Nakano, and Carol Liu. And this was at a time when not very many Asian Americans served in the state legislature, and it at the time was the smallest caucus in the legislature. But she brought a tremendous amount of leadership to that role. She was a role model for many, and then she also helped mentor so many Asian Americans who were interested in running for office. And right now we have, numbers in the double digits as a result of her work.
You know, when you look back at her career here, and we're talking about 30 years of public service, she was an advocate for children, for families, for affordable housing. Was there one issue you think she was most passionate about, or a piece of legislation maybe she was most proud to be a part of?
Children, I think, she had secured $100 million in the state budget in order to expand preschool opportunities for toddlers. And then she was also able to get, landmark legislation passed to make affordable health care for 800,000 uninsured California children. She was a tremendous mix of not only, political acumen, but also policy smarts. I mean, she really understood policy, but she also understood the strategy and the political leverage to get things done for the families in her district and statewide.
She was 72 years old. Such shocking news this morning coming out of Alameda. How do you think that Wilma Chan would want to be remembered? What would be her legacy?
I think her legacy was she was definitely one of the staunchest progressives and probably one of the original progressives to serve as an elected official. I think that it's almost poetic that, in the shadow of her passing, that Michelle Wu just got elected to be mayor of Boston, the first Asian American woman to ever to serve in that job. And since Wilma had spent time in Boston, I think it's this kind of karmic circle of that represents, the investment of time of her leadership and, her political efforts to lead to this whole new generation of, women serving in office as well as Asian Americans.
Well, we will let that be the last word. Bill Wong, friend and former colleague of Wilma Chan, we are so sorry for your loss. Thanks for your time tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.